I may or may not have already recorded an episode of this and play it again, but only realized at the very end I forgot to unmute my microphone because of the way I've been recording videos and episodes for my CS Utopia, that is my City Skylines series recently. So that's always fun. 7+ years, almost 8 now. Doesn't matter, you still have memory issues. But it's okay, we're gonna go for another round. Welcome back to GeoGuessr. We haven't played this in like... yeah, about 17 and a half years. So we're gonna go and play it again. It's already changed, the free version, that is. You get 5 minutes. Then you're supposed to have to wait 15 minutes. I actually averaged waiting like 10 minutes last time, so I don't know what that was about, but sure. Anyway, before that, though, you got just a full game you could play, and then you had to wait an entire day. Now it's, you get 5 minutes, have to wait 15 minutes, supposedly. Then you can play again for another 5 minutes, so on and so forth. So it is encouraging speedrunning, but it also does open up the possibility for you to be able to play a lot more for free. But it also is a good marketing scheme to try to pressure you to buy, because of course, it's a lot more annoying. Alright, it's World versus Pinhead, or Pinhead versus World. 3, 2, 1, begin. Let's go, like Mario. So, I mean, this is already obviously in the US, because you can tell by the plate style. I might be seeing that wrong, but that long hoe looks like it has a green in the middle, about the length of a Doug fir. But the thing is I could tell immediately off the bat. I was going to say, from this angle, which is what it started out with, this looks kind of southeast or northeast. It just basically looks east coasty. Could be Texas. Texas does have a lot of layouts like this, and the roadways also, you can tell it's a little humid. It's warm. It's not super hot this day because you can't see the haze, but you can see a little bit of that yellowish color that comes with the territory of being kind of hot. But yeah, this just screams Texas to me immediately off the bat now that I'm looking at this. Especially the road conditions, the way they're laid out, how far back the houses are set, the style of houses. This feels very Texas to me. Again. Even the trees could be very Texas. If they're just black and white, you know it's Texas. They are simplistic. But I'm just going to go right off the bat. I'm not even going to search. I'm just going to immediately assume this is Texas. And take a shot in the dark, I think, as he says as he starts rolling. This has always been my habit when I play GeoGuessr. I like get really to the confident point. I'm like, yeah, I want to guess that. And usually I'm right even if I do it. But then I just like spend an extra 15 years trying to identify what a Santa could be. That looks more northeast, though. That looks more like a colonial, like it's slightly more Dutch colonial style. Like, yeah, it could be sort of Southern Manor, too. Yeah, I guess it's kind of both. They did have plantation homes and, plantation manors in, see, the amount of brick is throwing me off. That's why I kind of want to keep going, because it throws me into thinking maybe it's North Carolina or Virginia. College Park. I doubt that has anything to do with the A-Town area in Georgia. I think this is Texas, though, because of the simplicity of the plates. You can tell it looks like it's black on white. That's kind of Old West / Spanish style right there, which is why it would be Old West. Yeah. Could have been a gun store, could have been a convenience store at some point. General store way back. I wonder why it's still there. Huh. Yeah, Pepsi logo. You know what? I'm still gonna stick with Texas. It was Virginia. Oh, damn. The brick houses told me. It's a brick from a brown house. Every suburb ever. That's what this looks like. But it's northeast, I think. Yeah, it's got to be northeast. 100% northeast. It might not be, but I'm pretty sure this is northeast. Like, again, the ridge lines tell me that's got to be northeast as well. This is obviously the U.S. Like, you can't tell me it's not. So we just got two U.S.'s in a row on a world map, which is awkward. They are driving on the correct side of the road, so that kind of tells you the same thing. Florence Bank. You would, for an average person, that'd probably be helpful. It's not. It's absolutely not. This is further northeast, though, than I would think Virginia, probably. I feel like I'd have to look at some suburban houses. Is that a 240? No, it's... No, it is. Yeah, that's a 240. Hey, baby. It's a 240. Is that a Southwest Grill? Yeah. Moe's. When I think of Moe's, because I'm an Oregonian, right? That means when I think of Moe's, I don't think of Southwest Grill. I think of seafood. On the coast. That's what I think of. Immediately, when I think of Moe's, that's what I think of. I think of the seafood restaurants. Edmonds Massage, obviously, is a huge brand because it's fucking everywhere. I was kind of curious to look in this mall. See, one kind of cheaty type of thing is you can... Why is the Wendell so fucking far back there? And in fact, why is this green space here? It's not a park. I don't understand. But one cheaty thing you can do is try to see if you can spot like a specific, more local joint or brand. So, type of store, Hampshire Mall. Yes, it's clearly in the middle of the Pacific. But yeah, because there a lot of regions in this country have a very specific set of stores that you'll only find in like a specific region. Barnes and Noble, Walmart, Marshalls, Bed Bath and Beyond, Old Naval, what? Pier 1 Imports. Well, we know it's a couple of years old now, don't we? This is an LL Bean. Oh. Yeah, it feels more East Coasty at that point, doesn't it? EMS. Emergency Medical Services? Emergency Management System. The Paper Store. Maybe that's what I saw over here. Yeah, I did. The Paper Store. Alright. I'm gonna go a little... Wait a minute, that's a giveaway. Isn't it? Oh, wow. That is a very... I used Microsoft Word to design my police logo. Look right there. Scabbled. That's obviously telling me exactly where it is. At least where this is from. Geotechnical and environmental drilling. I feel like that looks like it says MA. This doesn't feel like it's Massachusetts to me, though. And it might not be. But then again, it totally could be. If it is, it's probably Western Massachusetts. I'm gonna go Massachusetts. I'm gonna go with... I'm gonna go with this, though. Like somewhere... This is a Hampshire, but I doubt it had anything to do with that. I'm gonna go here. Just so it's fairly central. And it was in Massachusetts. It was on the other side of that Finger Lake. Alright. Well, there you go! 5 minutes. So it's confirmed. If you take a really long time when it's about to expire, then it actually continues to count down the clock. So if you take a really long time on one single guess, you cut down the amount of time you have to wait. But on the bright side, with the power of editing, you don't have to wait at all. I'll see you in literally 1 second. And we back! Like I'll say in 1 second. Alright, hey, we're finally international. This immediately feels like Eastern Europe / Roisa. Yeah, that feels about right. Could be Korea's, actually. But I don't think so. I could be inherently wrong. That looks like that's towards the center. This is the Roysa. Why do I always want to go this direction? Like, I actually always want to go the other direction, and then I always go the opposite. Yeah. Still could be wrong, but this definitely feels like Russia. Yeah, no, this has got to be somewhere like that. Look at the cars; they're all older. Yeah, this is 100% Russia. The question is, where in Roysa is it? Oh, yep, there you go. Russian flags. And very much Cyrillic. That's the one thing about Russia. Is that a gauze? You can never necessarily... Well, you can never... You usually cannot identify... Man, they went by fast. A specific place name because it's all in Cyrillic. So... It always kind of complicates where it is you are. Well, I like how it's Russia, right? Look at the fucking bus stops they have. Pimot. Okay, that tells me where that is. Look at that though. That's your bus stop. That's your bus station. And here we have these tiny little excuses for glass things if we have them at all. They have better frickin' bus stops than we do. This actually has more capacity and is far larger than the things we have, which are glass. They even have a better coverage from rain in terms of over the top. Like, they have a better sidewalk system in terms of how much broader it is. Like, damn. Also, that door is definitely ajar. Man, it's incredible. Like, the fact I'm already immediately, like, jealous of these are your bus stops tells you everything you need to know about our transit here in the U.S. It's including the best transit system in the U.S. being TriMet, which is what I always have to deal with, which is total shit. So it's Pimot, right? That's what it says over here. Pimot. No, Pimot. Vodka. Slovak. Roysa. It's obviously a Roysa. It's very flat, but so is like 90% of Russia. I don't see any signs of like the Urals. Doesn't mean anything. There is a small channel or river going through. Again, it doesn't tell me. Because Russia is so freaking large. It's so huge. Like, damn, satisfaction guaranteed now. 12 years old. We gotta go with Arkhangelsк. No. I don't know. It definitely feels like it's somewhere in Western Roysa, but I don't know where in Roysa. Pimot. Like, I know I've heard that name before. The question is placing where I've heard that name. Like, where is it at? Pimot. I don't want to spend like 50,000 years, although by this point... Well, no, actually, look at that. I still have another minute to go, weirdly. I didn't expect that. Pimot. Podolsk. Obinsk. Muscovy. Voldemort.
20 minutes later.
Now I'm just naming cities just because I'm having fun with it. It's Belarus, it's Vytoroysa, we don't want that. Bryansk. Kursk. Yeah, I'm just having fun saying Russian names. Well, Slavic names. That's how I feel about it.
One eternity later.
The fuck was his name again? Omsk. Everything's Minsk. Everything's so like, it's really racist, honestly. I feel very offended. My lobster is vibrating, gyrating extremely viciously, and nobody wants that, you know. It's a very concerning time. I don't know. Why did it tell me? I clicked down here. In what universe was that true? Law isn't slander. What was the name of it again? Well, actually, no, it's not cheating. It's not cheating if you can identify it because there's a sign that's unblurred. It's just, technically speaking. Pamot? It was Pamot. That's what it was, wasn't it? I even as a wild guess, I don't know where to freaking place my vote. My vote. My vote. I'm gonna put it like here-ish in Gwes. It was near Saransk. Oh no, it wasn't. It was actually by Kharkiv. Damn! I actually almost thought about putting it around here, so it would have been even closer. It's around Kharkiv. It's around Kharkiv. Well, how about that? Alright. Here we go. 4 or 5. Let's see if we can knock these two out in the 5 minutes. Wow. Wow. That is extremely awesome old school. Right there. That is really cool. It's really neat. Klub. Mkali. Very minus again. Klub Mkali, huh? That tells me Colombia, right? Yeah, I think it's Colombia that does not have the symbol on there. Mitiro? Pretty sure this is Colombia then. Cause yeah, it's simply trying to remember. Do you remember? It is trying to remember which flag, because all of them are identical. The only difference is that 2 have different size and different emblems, what do you call it, coat of arms on them, and 1 does not have a coat of arms. And it's getting those correct order in my head, which one's which, and I'm pretty sure Colombia is the one that does not have one on their cerveza. Colombia, yep, Colombia cerveza. I can't remember what that was called. Is it Andina? I guess it's Andina. I didn't remember it being called that in Court Causes videos, but I was just trying to get a catch up to that to see what the fuck that was. But nope, can't do it. Okay. So it is Colombia though. And I'm gonna guess it is somewhere closer to Medellin. Espero, you dumbass. So I'm gonna go like, I don't know, I feel like it's like somewhere up there. It was relatively close to Medellin. It was in Cali. Bogota would have been slightly closer, but hey, it happens. So it's in Cali. Alright, next up. It's obviously Africa. It's obvious. Africa. This occurs as an East African nation just by looking at the palm skis. So let's see. Yeah, that's a lot of palm trees. It's a bit hilly. Maybe this could be Rwanda or Burundi. Burundi. There's a lot of like empty houses though, and I can't tell if like they're in the act of being constructed or deconstructed or what exactly. That is huge. Jesus Christ, that's stately for. Well, actually, so is that for being where it is. Maybe some of these definitely look like they are actually actively under construction. Like I think these are. Either that it's like renovations. Kind of hard to tell in certain places. I feel like this is Tanzania actually, or Mozambique maybe. But it still could be more likely Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda. Those are the ones that are in there. It is somewhat hilly, and it doesn't look like there's any like big river necessarily out here, unless like the break is right there. So I don't think it's close to like the Congo. I could be wrong, obviously. Oh, there's a Crude watchtower, yeah, that's nice. And I'm not talking about an awake either. Haha. That watchtower is anointed. Let's see. Definitely looks like a place that probably has a lot of drug shifting going on too. In some of the bigger places. Supreme Love. Add beside 4 flat Arisku bus stop. But also a hairdressing salon. Oh, that's the full name. It is English that they're using. Though. Oh, that looks like a Nigerian flag. Except the green is way too small. But I think that might be a sign it's actually Nigeria. If this is actually West Africa and not East, that kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie. Then again, Nigeria is extremely corrupted because of Shell, so... Hey look! It's a motorized rickshaw. A piece of shit is here. No. I mean, it's Spencer's piece of shit is here. That would actually be funny. But no. Arisku. That does kind of feel like that could be West Africa, that kind of name. I don't know why. It just it fits better. Arikai car wash. Goatee. Yeah. It's definitely an English colonized nation then, because... Yeah, Grace Nation. Because almost everything is in English, so... But then again, they're driving on the correct side of the road, so I'm kind of confused by that. Well, you would think that'd be more likely Côte d'Ivoire. Which you could come from there, I guess, but that would be Francophone, so I'm not sure how that works. See, that's not English architecture. That actually occurs as very French. That might actually be water right there. And then in that case... This actually could be closer to Congo. I don't know what flag that's supposed to be. That reminds me a little bit of Mongolia's, but it's too colorful for that. What? Okay, I guess there's a place in Africa called Craneburg. That's actually fairly decent sized. Craneburg. You gotta be busting my chops. Craneburg. That actually only confuses me more. Because, like, my first instinct at that point is to say, well, Liberia? I don't know. Jubilee chalets. There's no help except for Allah. It's definitely a very mixed nation. Almost everything is English, but you can see some Francophone influence. Whether it's architecture or it's some flags that fly around. But of course you also see some Islamic influence, which is interesting. But it does still feel like it's a little more East African to me, but... So, I'm not sure where I like how the further I go, the more confused I get. I'm just like, what? Where the flying fuck are we? There's that flag again. That doesn't actually help me at all still. Wait a minute. That is actually really close to Central African Republic's flag. I don't think this is Central African Republic, but it really could be. I mean, we do know where we are in the sense of this town, this city is called Craneburg. Craneburg? In Africa? Or maybe it's the district? I don't know. Craneburg? I am extremely confused because it's a decent sized town or city. I know, I heard you say that already. It's definitely not Dutch, sorry. But yeah, but everything's in English. I don't even remember who colonized the Central African Republic. I wonder if it was one of those ones that were traded hands a bunch, probably. The fuck? The fuck. Boy. It is very similar to the Central African Republic's flag, but like... I did see that other one that was definitely an impression of the Nigerian flag, but it also, the landscape looks like it's East Africa, so I'm just sitting here really confused. Because, like, I know that Tanzania had traded hands God knows how many times in its history. And I don't think there's a single place in South Africa that's that tropical. Like, less, I guess maybe it could be around closer to the borders with, like, Eswatini and Mozambique. But that is your big mix of, especially in the east there, it is a big mix of English and Dutch. Well, you know what? I'm just going to throw a guess out into the east of South Africa. So, like, here. Oh, okay. It was in Nigeria. What? It was in Ipe. But everything said Craneburg, so I guess that was the district? Alright, we're gonna speedrun this next bit. Because I didn't even intend to do this anyway, the second round, so let's go. Oh, God. Speedrunning might be a bit more difficult than I thought. Nah, that's 100% Asia. Da-da-dee-da. I'm gonna go with... sorry for the sudden no commentary there, because cut it out because it wouldn't be able to go on YouTube because my mom was talking about that illness thing we may or may not have been dealing with for 2 years, and specifically the treatments of it. And since I've been on a roll and really been into creating a bunch of content lately, it just doesn't bode well for me. Where are we with 5? This looks very close to home, actually. Definitely the US. That could not be more clear. This looks instantly, like, it occurs to me as very much like what you'd expect out in the countryside here in Oregon. And those might actually be genuine Oregon white oaks. And I think they probably are. Yeah, and they do love planting these, I believe they're sequoias, a lot of places. These are cherries, I think, by looking at the leaves. I think they're cherry trees. Probably pie cherries, by the way the trees were growing. Yeah, those are definitely cherries. Which also actually probably puts it northwest. Yep, you have all the evergreens. So this actually, I'm going to straight up say this is Oregon, because this has such a strong feeling of Oregon. It's fucking disgusting how Oregonian this feels. Not even Washington. It is Oregon! Yeah, look at that. You can see the green tree on the license plates in the center, specifically this one. You can see the green of it. That's the Doug fir. So yeah. Look how quick that is. Just like, I know home. I don't have to go to any other part of the state to know exactly where, if it's Oregon or Washington or even BC. They're such unique places. I'm going to guess, this is somewhere definitely in the valley. I'm going to guess, though, this is probably, it actually could easily be east of the Cascades, actually, just not quite summer yet. But I think this is anywhere from basically south of Wilsonville. So it's probably, my first guess and vibe is somewhere around McMinnville, Dundee area. The other one is actually closer to Canby, which isn't obviously that far away because it's literally just on this side instead, Newburgh area. Yeah, so basically this is my instinct. My first and second instinct is this area. Secondarily, I think Dallas, or so third, I think Dallas area. Dallas, Monmouth, Philomath, and then Pahilomoth. And then the other one is going to be Pahilomath. It's probably more likely, I was going to say around Eugene area. Like maybe Veneta. I think, though, that I'm going to go with my first instinct area, and I'm going to go somewhere around this vicinity. So I'm going to go like, it could even be St. Paul area, but let's see. Those hills aren't much, but yeah, I think that's because it's probably somewhere around here. So we're going to go like here. See how fucking close I was? Hell yeah. See, I said Dallas as well. Canby is right here. But I felt like it was McMinnville, Dundee area. Because there's Dundee. So McMinnville, Dundee. So basically this vicinity is what I felt like. Look at how fucking close I was. I know my shit about my state. I can just, it immediately has such a unique feeling and vibe to it. I love it. So, we did our really quick guessing. Speedrun it after that first one. And this is what we got. I really didn't think that was Spain. Because, I'll put it back on the screen. It doesn't look Spanish to me. In terms of actual España Spanish. It looks way too desert. It looks way too dry. It looks, and it's just sudden like cliff faces of mountains. Just doesn't seem Iberian to me. It seems very much more like Atacama or maybe South Africa. The problem was there's no Spanish influence or history in South Africa, so that's impossible. So it had to be basically one of these places because the Spanish really didn't colonize almost any, and currently do not have any influence over any of the oceanic island chains except for the Philippines. So it definitely wasn't the Philippines. So it's like, huh. So I figured it had to be Argentina. It was not. But yeah, like the accuracy of the Thailand and the Indonesia ones were incredible. I loved that. And then yeah, we get Oregon as our last one, just fucking fantastic. Wow. So I actually did better. I didn't think I would, but I did a lot better with this one than I did actually taking my fucking time. That is actually unbelievable. I never would have expected such a thing. That's incredible. Well, these are going to be a mess to edit. Whether into one video or to two different ones. Or maybe I'll just stick with this one instead. But either way, it's going to be kind of a mess to edit. But it happens. I also didn't remember that I actually had a plan where while we waited the 10 minutes in between, what I would do is I would go and do some other geography challenges. Forgot to do that. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, anyway. That does allow you to make it allows us to make it a lot more streamable though, if you think about it. This game. By doing it this way, where you have to wait 10 minutes between. Because you can actually do a sort of a weird little challenge, including mentally, right? Because you can go and you can do this geography challenge, but then you can do a completely different type of geography challenge, like identifying flags on the fly, without any help. Or things like that, right? Or various quizzes and trivia. You can do that on a different site, while then also doing it here. It's like Cetera, right? You do that for the 10 minutes you're waiting, and then you pop back over here, you do your next 5 minutes, so on and so forth. It would make a perfect, like, streaming challenge type of thing, where you go back and forth. So, that is one boon I could see with the way they're doing it now. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, see you around.